I miss him. I miss him so. Bienvenidos, worldwide fans of the planet's hottest entertainment with an edge from a galaxy far, far away. I'm En Fuego here once again for Enfuegotainment, my namesake program, and Mandalorian. That's right, we had some technical difficulties on the last week's episode with some focus and audio issues and stuff like that. There is a spoiler of that I also talked about all of that information that Disney dropped on Investor Day. Shizzle was crazy, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Check out that video if you feel inclined. But yeah, we are talking about the second to last episode here in the journey in the second season. It is entitled The Believer, and it is the return of Rick Famuyiwa. God damn it, I'm trying to remember his last name. But yeah, he did a terrific job directing the Heist episode last season. Famuyiwa, I believe is his name. But yeah, he directed the hell out of that episode. I believe he also wrote this one as well, but he's back to direct. I just didn't love the story of that particular episode, and in a lot of ways it was really Bill Burr, the comedian guy, who, I mean, I like some of his stand-up, but he just stuck out like a sore thumb and kind of took me out of just the immersive escapism of the galaxy far, far away. And so I will most definitely say that this is not only an improvement on Bill's part, as far as the fact that, yes, we saw he was being teased as returning, presumably, in this episode. So even though this is a non-spoiler, that's just the one and only thing. Pretty much everybody assumed he was coming back for this episode, though. So yeah, Bill is better, and the directing is far more badass in this. Yes, there was some terrific action in the Heist episode that Rick directed last season, but this definitely ups the ante. There is a point in particular on this planet where it's one of my only criticisms, I'll just get that right off the bat, is that this is after having a number of successive episodes that it was still going the planet, jumping, you know, but it was less about like this side mission and that side mission, whatever. Like the last couple of episodes in particular were just advancing the overall arcing storyline so significantly. And this one I felt like was another, side mission here. We have to go to this planet to get this to, you know, get to our final episode and, you know, our confrontation with Moff Gideon. We all saw what happened at the end of last week's episode. That's why my little guy isn't here with me, because he's not with Mando. And Mando, I don't even think they used the term Grogu in this entire episode. They're just like, yeah, he lost his child. And of course, Bill Burr's like, the little green guy? You know, so, they really, like, the action is up significantly, but as far as the stakes being raised, I would not argue that that is the case here, but it's this great, almost like kind of jungly planet that they're on, and the Indiana Jones-esque action during this one particular chase scene with Mando and Burr, it's so dope. Mando gets on top, and he's, like, fighting person after person on this planet, and there's some Imperial espionage going down in this, which is great, and it does at least have the same feel of the Heist episode in the fact that there's this ragtag crew of peeps that have been put together, because we do have our returning lady, whose name eludes me. She basically made her return with the mighty Boba Fett in the previous episode, but I will give them credit here for not making Boba Fett like this big central focus. I was so excited about the return of dude who played Jango from the prequels, and I thought the Asian actress who was fantastic in that previous episode as well. She's solid here. She's got her little I guess you know, like, what's the term from The Boys Season 2? Girls get it done. There's a couple bits with her and Cara Dune, I think her name is, which are pretty dope and stuff. But it really is Mando and Burr's story. Without spoiling stuff, there is something that Burr's character is egging him on about for a good portion of the episode, and it was a cool little reveal to see something that we only saw once in the previous season without getting into divulging too much of that. But yeah, really, despite how amazingly directed this is by Rick, and actually seeing a much better turn from Bill Burr, he still has a few lines in particular. One of note where he's like kind of egging on Kara's character, who she's like a New Republic Marshal now, as they revealed at the end of the previous episode. And so Yeah, some of his jabs at her and stuff, I don't know, to her sunny disposition and all this. Those are the sort of bits that in the previous episode, he was in last season, the Heist one, they took me out, as I mentioned, but he actually flexes his dramatic muscles. In particular, there's a conversation with a higher-up Imperial guy who, I love that actor, I don't want to divulge who it is, but he was in Rob Zombie's 31. He was unfortunately wasted and totally underutilized and hamming it up too much in the most recent Tremors movie. But he's been in so much stuff, man, and he's incredibly talented. And he brought this sneering nastiness to the couple scenes that we have with him, and he was very intimidating, as Imperial superior should be. So he was great, and that guy actually drops the one bit of larger information that I think is really the only world expanding and linking sort of thing, because you know that this takes place between the original trilogy and the most recent one, the Disney fight 7, 8, and 9, and he uses the word order in giving some distinction about tides turning in the galaxy, and it's one of the few things that, without getting into it in spoiler fashion here, links those two trilogies in an intriguing fashion, because this only takes place 5 years after the destruction of the second Death Star. The sequel trilogy started 30 years after Jedi, so you have to figure there were so many peaks and valleys and ups and downs of this New Republic and the sort of order that they were trying to instill. But yeah, we know New Order, not the band, but or First Order, I should say. Yeah, guys, there's just some interesting parallels that are made in that regard without getting too spoilery about the episode. I dug our ragtag team. I thought, Bill Burr was significantly superior, and once again, Rick, in his return in the director's seat, did an awesome job and upped the ante of the action significantly. It was very, very compelling, very fun, but at the end of the day, this didn't really do much more of anything to advance the story significantly. It was just another one of those little side episodes that didn't really contribute as much, aside from being very fun to watch and certainly pretty to look at, as you would expect from this show. So I'm going to say definitely this is a 3 out of 5. It's going to be in the lower tier of the episodes, but then again, it's tough to compare with the Return of Boba Fett, or, the first live-action version of Ahsoka, or, the first episode with Ola Fantastic and just being back on Tatooine with the Krayt Dragon. There have been some very memorable, how could I forget Bo-Katan? I mean, there's been a lot of very cool stuff as far as geeking out goes that I just had so much fun with, and I was just filling the cup, to quote Jay and Silent Bob. But I didn't as much have an instance here, aside from the aforementioned chase that Rick directed so well, and a confrontation with that Imperial officer, without getting too much into it. So, still, 3 out of 5, Fuego Fireballs, a bueno episode, and definitely worth your time. There's only one left, and there's a lot of speculation as to, if that aforementioned Jedi could appear, who that could be. There's all kinds of fun theories floating around. It's going to be really cool doing an end-of-season discussion, spoilery status, all about this show. And yes, I very much look forward to it here. So I extend a grande gracias to anybody who tuned into this video, this little video review of the newest episode of The Mandalorian on Disney+. If you've watched it, did you think it was a little more forgettable? As I've mentioned, was it one of your favorites of the season with Rick's return in the directing chair? Do you think Bill Burr actually is great in this particular role, and some of the redemptiveness that he has the opportunity to get, we may see him again, who knows? There's always that possibility without getting too into it. But yes, comments below, a like, a share, a subscribe, means a hell of a lot. Lots of Star Wars coverage on here. I'm just about to finish the Rebels TV series. I'm in the last couple episodes of the 4th season. It's been incredibly compelling, and it's filling in certain aspects for where this show could go, with spin-offs like Ahsoka and various other things, which is a lot of fun. So a retrospective discussion about that show is definitely forthcoming, along with the Kanan comic book, as I was just about to start that too. So yes, if you do like spectacular stuff, though, the scarific shizzle, jump over to youtube.com/The Horror Show channel. We are in the midst of Christmas time in hell. We're covering pretty much every creative output of the Hellraiser universe, from all of the feature films to the books like Scarlet Gospels and Toll, yeah, some of the comics. I mean, we have been as comprehensive as possible. So go over there, show some love. But once again, say thank you. I appreciate your time here today. And until the Reel of Ka comes around once more, hasta luego, Cinemigos constant readers and viewers, in this case, alike. And hopefully we share more of this film palaver sooner rather than later. And until then, watch more Star Wars. There's certainly going to be the opportunity, especially at home on Disney Plus in the coming years, because this is the new way. Faux show.